sovereign AI, that's another thing that's becoming very relevant, because when you build AI solutions, it's very important to make sure that the data, the models, what are the sources for those? Do they have the right controls in place? Do they have the right governance in place from an AI perspective? A lot of the companies are currently in POC stage. You can call it pilot stage, etc. But they haven't moved from the pilot stage to production, implementation. And even if some have moved to implementation, they haven't gone big scale.
Which is the most popular AI trend that you believe is going to collapse first, and why you think it would happen?
The one that I get a chuckle about, it reminds me of the dot-com days. Every company said, I'm a digital company, web-first company. So I get a lot of chuckle when a lot of the companies say we are AI first.
Hello everyone, welcome to BetterTech. So today I have a very special guest with me. That's Utpal. Hello Utpal, how are you today?
Hey Haseeb, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm doing well. Hope everything's good at your side too.
Yeah, so far so good. And thank you very much for making the time. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure is all mine.
All right. So Utpal, uh, before we get started, what does your name means?
Good question. I actually believe it has something to do with a flower in the Indian context.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So Utpal, before we really get started with the topic and everything, can you briefly tell a bit more about your career, its trajectory? Like, how did you get started and how did you end up where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. From an educational perspective, I have an engineering background, and then over the years, I did a MBA. Um, from a work perspective, I started as a developer with an engineering background, did some initial coding, gradually moved on to uh, configuring ERP systems, and moved up the food chain, if you will. All my experience was in consulting. I've spent many years in IBM consulting, helping clients. My primary focus over the years was always client-centric, doing what is right for the customer, and finding solutions to help them meet their business requirements. That's been the
Mm-hmm.
mantra that I've followed over the years. And then in the last few years, I moved from IBM consulting to the technology side of IBM. And that's a beauty of IBM, where you can have many roles, many careers, if you will, within one organization.
That's amazing. So, what I was seeing in your profile that you had been working for IBM for quite long, I would say. So, what made you stick? Typically in tech industry, it's a very, very high iteration in there. People just switch jobs every now and then, but you had been pretty consistent with IBM. What made that happen and how did it go?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, when you join a company, you don't think that you're going to be there for that long. You just, you think you'll be there for a few years and then move on. But as I said, that's the beauty of a company like IBM. It is always, so to answer your question, couple of reasons. Number one, it's always at the front, cutting edge of innovation. It's a great company to work for if you're trying to solve some of the complex problems for enterprises, for business, for government institutions. And more importantly, as I said, you can have multiple roles in multiple brands of IBM. And at the end of the day, it's the people that does the magic, that makes the magic, that you want to be surrounded with, right? The values of a company, the people you work with, the joy that you get in helping the clients be successful. That's kept me with the company for this long.
So, you had been associated with the IBM consulting, as you said, and then you transitioned yourself to IBM technology. How do you, rate that shift? Do you think that it was a good decision? And what are you basically doing in the IBM technology side of things?
Right. Again, I may seem like a broken record, but as I move from consulting to technology, one thing that has remained constant is helping the customers.
Right.
So doing what is right for the customer, doing things that help them be successful. Before it was providing more service oriented perspective. Now it was trying to help them more from a technology perspective. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, it's all about problem solving. And when you solve a problem, it's a combination of tools, processes, technology. So those things remain constant, if you will.
Sure, sure. And within the technology, IBM technology side of things, I mean, in your current role, are you like working on the latest and greatest things in the tech side, like AI, machine learning, blockchain, or other side of tech?
Yeah, absolutely. The things that I'm involved in is providing help through cloud AI technology. One of the topics that's very hot right now and is a very relevant in a global context is sovereignty. So a
Mm,
lot of the customers are looking for sovereign solutions, which make sure that the sovereignty requirements are built in. The cloud solutions that we provide are regulated, secure, resilient. All of those themes are very relevant today. And as you may have heard the word sovereign AI, that's another
mm,
thing that's becoming very relevant because when you build AI solutions, it's very important to make sure that the data, the models, what are the sources for those? Do they have the right controls in place? Do they have the right governance in place from an AI perspective?
yeah. So from an AI standpoint, I mean, a lot of companies are doing AI pilots. And I mean, but there seems to be a lot of gap in terms of these pilots and the real business value that they are going to bring. Most of the AI initiatives these days, I mean, they are not performing up to the expectations and are moving towards getting failed. So, what actually, in your opinion, is causing this, and how we can keep on moving the needle?
Yeah, absolutely. I think your point is spot on. Lot of the companies are currently in POC stage. Um, you can call it pilot stage, etc. But they haven't moved from the pilot stage to production, implementation. And even if some have moved to implementation, they haven't gone big scale. I would say the reason for that is threefold. Number one, it has to be structured as an organization. It needs to be the culture needs to be an AI first culture. There are companies which are moving very successfully into the implementation and full scale scaling situation. But the most important thing is number one, culture of the company, where it is mandated that it's an AI first culture. The second thing, which is very important, is you have to start with the outcomes. What is the outcomes that you're trying to achieve? Many times I've seen companies who just want to be FOMO, fear of missing out. So
Mm,
they just get into the AI thing and then they hope that something will stick. Many of them have moved into the pilot stage without knowing what the primary objective of this is, what the processes are in terms of implementing it and scaling it. So the second
mm.
one is definitely outcomes. And the third and most important is you need to know what is your source of core competency. What is it that your primary assets are? You've got to make sure that there is governance, there is data, which models you're using. It needs to be thought through from an end to end perspective to make this real.
So, there's a lot of talk in the town now about AI agents, agentic AI, and everything. Since you have been working with a lot of customers, those belong from diverse domains, they have their own problems, they have their own solutions, they have their own challenges, even. So, if you would have to pick one workflow that you would like to agenticize, I would say, what that would be, and in what particular domain you think it would
Yeah.
fall?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take an example which is closer to home. IBM, and I know it may seem because I work for IBM, but I want to take this example. One of our client zero best examples is the leverage of AI tools to automate the end-to-end HR process.
Okay.
It's something which did not happen yesterday. It took years to make it happen. But the tools that we have in our house in terms of leveraging the agentic tools, AI tools for end to end HR process automation is world class, and many companies are now looking at it and trying to replicate it and build their own solution. So HR is one classic example where I can showcase it is just, it is definitely world class from a client zero standpoint. The second one that I will talk to is contact center, customer care. That is one of the use cases that has been tackled over the years as the AI, as before AI, when analytics and data tools had started to develop. So the use of agentic AI for customer care is real, it's proven, and you can see the benefits, and the level of maturity is very high.
Right. So, I mean, you also have worked on stuff where you have helped customers in transforming their operations, customer experiences, etc., through AI. So, I mean, but there would be many gaps. There would be internal friction as well in many cases where people are against the usage of AI, etc. How you have tackled those challenges?
Yeah. And very good question. I think um, obviously AI is evolving. So we see new examples of friction and challenges, etc. At a very high level, the challenges are threefold. Number one is level of support in the organization. It needs to be top down. It needs to be at all levels, there should be alignment about it that
Mm-hmm.
AI is going to help the company move in the right direction.
Mm,
The second friction that I see is a fear that I may lose my job, or a fear that I may not be able to get trained in AI, etc. And the right organizations are the ones who have transparent conversations and clearly articulate to the folks that it's all about augmentation. It's all about making the job that you are doing better. It's all about removing repetitive tasks. And the third place where I see friction is where there is lack of clarity on what the outcomes of AI would be. I think it's all about constant communication, constant messaging, and reiterating the importance of AI. Because if organizations don't do that, either they will get cannibalized or someone else will take that revenue stream over.
mm. All right. Yep. I would agree to that. Now, AI, I mean, it's getting a lot of hype. Everyone is talking about AI. Some people even say just put AI into our workflow without thinking it over, thinking it through, I would say. So if you would have to bet against the hype, if you say that, okay, all this hype is like unjustified, it's too much, which is the most popular AI trend that you believe is going to collapse first, and why you think it would happen?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype, as you can imagine. This constantly front page news on Wall Street Journal, etc., about all kinds of hype. The one that I get a chuckle about, it reminds me of the .com days when every company said, "I'm a I'm I'm a digital company, web first company." So I get a lot of chuckle when a lot of the companies say we are AI first, our solutions are AI first, our products are AI first. So I think, a lot of that is to do to get the attention. A lot of that is probably to increase the valuation of your
Yeah,
stuff. But
I would
it's n-
say, yeah, I would say people are just putting the .ai name in
That's
their
right.
domain, or they are
That's
just
right.
going to get, I mean,
That's
put the
right.
word AI.
That's right. The one that gives me a big chuckle is, a lot of the brands and a lot of the products say they are AI first, but you don't even need to peel too many layers of the onion. You just go like one or two layers down and you realize, like, really? I mean, is this AI first? I mean,
Yeah. So, I mean, in many cases, simple digital transformation is presented as AI transformation or AI
bingo.
projects. In reality, those are just like simple database queries or if statements for
That's
someone
right. That's
that
right.
does not have the correct tech background. So, yeah,
That's
I
right.
would agree.
And by the way, you don't need agentic AI to solve all the problems. majority of the problems can be, to be candid, you need good data. Garbage in is garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
many organizations, if you go and look at it, their data is not clean. Some of it could be the reason of because they never kept the data clean. Some of it could be because it's got acquired over the years. So they never did a good job making sure that the data was clean or trying to run a good database system, etc. I mean, so a lot of those things need to be done first before you move to the next stage. Analytics can solve a lot of those things. You don't need agentic AI to solve those things. It's like having a tool looking for a problem.
Yeah. And on the other side, I mean, you just touched upon it. Data readiness is now a complete domain. I mean, making data ready for AI applications to consume is now a whole subject in its own self.
100%. And many companies have chief data officer now whose primary job is to make sure that data is in a format that can be used because data is the asset. Data is the most critical source or one of the most critical source of any organization.
Okay, so if you have to predict about the future of AI or AI driven businesses, I mean, what is one prediction or one thing that you think is going to surprise people a lot in the future?
Let me make three comments. Not sure whether it's going to surprise or not, but let me make three comments. AI is real, it's here, and it will be the future. Number two, organizations that are able to take advantage of it, which have a right strategy, which have a right plan in place, will be the ones who will win this. Number three, lot of these organizations that you right now see are AI driven uh, or AI first, which are just kind of falling into this bandwagon of leveraging the AI hype. I think they will all fall apart, and only
Hmm.
the few will remain. I think it will be similar to organizations during the dot com, the ones who stuck around, the ones who had the right strategy, the ones who genuinely took advantage of that will be there as this hype moves and evolves over a period of time. The other prediction, getting a little technical, is large is not always the best. So large language models, the bigger the size, the bigger that it's good from a B2C perspective, but from a B2B perspective, all businesses are looking for is not size but precision.
Right. I would certainly agree to it. So yeah. So Utpal, now that we have reached the end, I would like to thank you for your time today. Really appreciate the insights. And before we close, any closing comments from your side?
I would just say to the folks who are looking, it's an exciting time to be in tech. It's an exciting time to be a tech professional. Take advantage of it. Always have the curiosity, learn, unlearn, and evolve. And, the future is very bright for tech.
Thank you very much today. Thank you very much for your time today, Utpal. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to hosting you again sometime in the near future with another exciting topic. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Pleasure is all mine, Haseeb. Thanks for now.
Have a good one. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.